Oh, come on, mate. We've got a show to record.
I'm not coming out.
It's not just me and the listeners you'll be letting down. You'll be letting yourself down, man.
No.
Oh, look. Everyone's waiting for you. Come on, mate.
No, there's loads of them. I'm not coming out. I wasn't expecting that many people.
Tell you what. If you do the show, I'll give you a curly whirly. How about that?
2 curly whirlies.
Okay. 2 curly whirlies.
Yay! Out of the way, mate. I'm coming out.
Welcome to the AOBots podcast. I'm Chazzy, and with me is my amiable co-host, Dan Clark. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Yeah, we launched a podcast this week.
I know, it's
good,
mad,
isn't
isn't it? I know. Bonkers.
Isn't it? Like, proper exciting.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
not as exciting as a game I've been playing.
Right,
And I'm going to tell you about it. A Bobo's Big Adventure. Do you remember a Bobo? The big potato-headed bloke from Double Dragon? He comes marching through the door in the first level. Brr, 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 brr.
Oh, right, yeah. Like a big brute, almost like end-of-level boss type.
Sort of.
Mini
He pops
boss,
up all the time, like big old head.
Right, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, it's a game about him. It's like a love letter to the NES. And I saw a trailer for it late last year, where and was really excited for it. And then I didn't notice that it had come out. It was released in January, and I saw a review and thought, I'm going to hit that up. And it's absolutely amazing. If you're over 30, is my guess.
All right, okay.
At the time, I didn't really enjoy the NES. It was one of those consoles that I used to play in the Eastern Electricity Board shop, where you get like 30 seconds to play a game, and then you go home, do it on the way home from school. Because everyone had Master Systems, do you know what I mean, with the UK. I know in the States it was different.
Oh, yeah.
But, so this game is like an American love letter to their childhood. So yeah, you play this guy, was the bad guy in Double Dragon. He's kind of a bad guy in the game, but he's not really evil. He's just a douchebag.
It's just a little bit annoying. He's an annoying boss, you know. He's an annoying thug.
Yeah, as annoying as someone that punches your head off can be.
Oh, right,
you know?
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, I suppose that's a bit more than annoying, but yeah, I don't think he realises he's being a bad guy. Maybe I'm reading too much into the whole thing. Yeah, I thought it was going to be this little flash game where you get a couple of little jokes. It lasts 5-10 minutes. So I downloaded it, plugged in my pad, and it's like a full game. If this thing had come out when the NES was actually around, it would have been like one of the best games going.
Okay, so this is on what, PC? iPad?
Yeah, it's on the PC. Yeah, you can download it for free. Yeah, Google a Bobo's Big Adventure, and you can download it for free. Or you can play it online, but you can't play it full screen. But so I download it, plug in your pad, and give it a go. It starts off, because it's from Double Dragon, the first level is a sort of Double Dragon clone. You're marching through the Double Dragon.
Side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, your usual. Yeah, except playing the guy that you would have been against. But then suddenly, like, a Goomba appears on screen, and you're kicking the crap out of a Goomba. Or, like, you need to regain health, and a little kid walks past, and I was like, I know it wants me to do something with the kid, but if I press punch, it's going to punch the kid. If I press kick, it's going to kick it.
Don't do anything with kids.
Exactly, that was my thinking. But then, you are a Bobo. I think that's what you have to get into your head. You are the character.
Okay. So you're an evil guy, so you have to do evil things.
Yeah.
I'm an evil guy.
So you punch the kid, head flies off, and he eats it to regain the health. It's
mate.
Yeah,
That's mental.
It is a crazy game. There's like I say, there's Goombas in it, and then you move on to like a Zelda level where it's like a mini Zelda dungeon. Like, it's got all the rooms, the puzzles.
So is it switched like perspective? Like you've gone from side scrolling to kind of a top down.
Yeah, I'll do a quick rewind. Zip, 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 zip. So you've gone through the Double Dragon level, and then you go on. I can't remember what the next one is, but then you go on to, say, a balloon fight level. Right. Do you remember that? Where you have to press like you have to keep your balloon going and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, you sort of bob along. Yeah, you're bobbing along.
Yeah, bobbing along. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And then like the Zelda dungeon is the biggest bit of the game I've found so far, and again you're getting enemies from all sorts of other games included in there. And the amount of cameos you get, it reminds me of that Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. You know, the Kevin Smith film?
Yeah.
It's like that, but video game.
Right, let me ask you a question then. So it's bringing in like kind of Goombas and like other characters from other games, yeah?
Yeah.
How'd you get away with that? Is that like, is it licensed? Is it not licensed? Is it like like an indie game that's like completely under the radar? You know, being a bit edgy and.
Not really. They're using that American clause of the parody rule, where if it's used for parody, you can get away with nicking anything from anywhere.
Oh, right.
So they've just gone through their NES.
As long as they don't charge for it.
Yeah, I think that's the. Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, if they made money, it would be a different matter. But it's a free game, so they're all good with that. It's like they've gone through their whole NES collection, just taken every sprite they can from left, right, and centre, like magpies. Oh, shiny!
Oh, I like that little leg of meat on that level. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I like that trash can off that level of that game. I'll take that. I like those shop fronts off that level. Well, I'll take that. Is it like a bit like that?
It's a lot like that.
Okay, cool.
The best bit, I don't think I need to say any more than Rowdy Roddy Piper. Do you remember the wrestler?
Oh, superb. Yeah, I used to love him. He was bonkers.
Right, I won't give away what happens, but he makes a cameo in the game.
Mate, fantastic. Like, is it voiced or is it like text that pops up with his little picture?
It's the sprite taken from, I'm guessing, one of the old WWF games. Not the world.
Yeah, like WWE, WrestleMania, or Royal Rumble.
No, the World Wildlife Federation games. Do you remember when Rowdy Roddy Piper had to save the pandas?
Yeah. He was saving the pandas. He was fighting them like ninjas off with bamboo sticks. Yeah.
They've taken them from that game.
Right.
And like I say, it'll be a spoiler if I tell you what happens. But there's a level that's a tribute to pro wrestling on the NES, and Rowdy Roddy Piper makes a little appearance in that.
Excellent.
And
excellent.
The thing that I'm loving most about it is it's like, you know, when you go to a really nice restaurant and you're waiting for the main course, like say you've ordered a steak or something like that, but then you've got your prawn cocktail to start, to be very 70s. But this is like an appetizer for, you know, Retro City Rampage that's coming out in May.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know much about it. What is it?
Retro City Rampage is, I'm going to take you back in time a bit, to 2004. A guy called Brian Provinciano said, I'm going to make a game called Grand Theft Endo. I'm going to remake GTA 3 on the NES.
Right.
And everyone got really excited. He put out this trailer showing the gameplay, and it looked like, wow, this guy has actually made a GTA game on the NES.
Okay.
Sadly, Rockstar weren't so happy about it.
Weren't incredibly happy with, you know, him ripping them off.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So what he's done is retooled the whole thing, taken away all of the GTA references, and put in a whole load of references to retro stuff, so that you can get away with it, again, using the parody
superb
clause.
That sounds excellent.
And that comes out in May. And like I say, after 8 years, I've been roasting for this game.
Right.
And then it feels like a Bobo's Big Adventure is sort of like my little starter.
Okay, cool. So that's your little appetizer, and then that's going to come out. What's that going to come out on Retro City Rampage?
It's out on everything. It's out on Steam, PS3, Vita, Wii, Xbox 360. He's gone across the board, which for an indie developer, a game made by one guy, it's unbelievable that it's coming out.
That's mad. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
totally. Excellent.
And how about yourself? What have you been playing?
Me. Yeah, I've been playing. I've been playing Mass Effect 3. Like I'm not going to go back into that because last week I was, I was all over that last week, and I just don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Don't want to go there. So,
vaguely, how far have you got?
I'm probably 8-9 hours in. But let's just say that Commander Shepard is running constipatedly through the Mass Effect universe as we speak, so don't worry about that. He's all good,
and at least he's got the right face.
Yeah, he's got the right face. Yeah, definitely.
Constipated face.
Yeah, that's like he's got very, very pursed lips. Right, but what I have actually been playing, other than that, there's for free
Wow.
Got this game for free on the iOS platform on my little iPhone. Beat Hazard Ultra. I've been playing that. Really, really good game. Apparently it's the precursor, the kind of, whatever, prequel to it, Beat Hazard. 80 points on XBlig.
Yeah, I paid $400 for that when it first came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And cheers for telling me that the iOS one's free. Thanks.
Yeah, well, it's free, mate. Well, it's free for a short time. I don't know if it is now. I'll have to check
later.
Yeah, exactly. But it's basically a twin stick shooter. Like Geometry Wars. It's not the shapes and glowing neon. It's more of a shoot 'em up aesthetic. So it's more, bullet hell looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just absolutely great. I've been playing it non-stop on the train up to work in my lunch hours and on the way back. Like, it's really, really, it's just crazy because what it is the levels are created procedurally from the music on your iPod or your iPhone or your iPad. It's like a universal app, so it's on everything. But the music you've got on your app, it'll basically take that and create waves of enemies from it, and then you'll get power-ups that will increase the volume of the track. And if you increase the volume of the track, the visuals on the screen, so it's got smoke effects and your laser blasts become more visually intense, and the strobe, there's strobe effects. So if you're epileptic, please be
stay away
of
this one. Yeah,
stay away because this game will send you off on one. So the volume. As the volume goes up, the effects get more and more and more intense. But to get more power, so to power up your guns on your ship, it actually works with the intensity of the music. So the intensity of the music, as the music gets more and more and more and more and more and more intense, your guns get more and more and more and more and more and more powerful. And it's so what you're doing is you're kind of trying to survive on the screen for long enough so you get to a really intense part of a track and then shooting the crap out of whatever waves are coming in.
Exactly. You wait for the build-up, didn't you? That's what I did on the Xbox Live version. It's you got into the premiere bit of the track, and it's
that's it. Right, I'm off. I'm going. Right, just destroy everything. And it's very I tell you, it reminded me of, which is another great game, is Tilt to Live. Whereas on Tilt to Live, you've got your ship. Your ship, it's an arrow, but it's a ship, and you're having to move the screen about. With this, it's actually on-screen twin-stick controls. Now, I know they're everyone goes, on-screen twin-stick controls are horrible, they're in the way, and, always my finger slips off and I don't move and then I get killed. Yeah. But these are really good because what happens is they move with you. They move around the screen with you.
I get what you mean. Yeah, I played a few like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it adapts to where your thumbs are. So I don't, other people may, but I don't actually end up getting that horrible thing of just slipping off the pad for 2 seconds and then getting killed. So it's wicked. Really, 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 really loving it. It's best to play with your headphones on, because if you're playing it with the speakers, you don't really get the kind of real intensity of the music. But I've just been really, really blown away by it. I did what everyone would do and try and find the most intense dance track I can find.
Something like Aphex Twin or...
Yeah. Whack that in and then just watch the screen go mental, and then try and last as long as possible. But other than that, mate, honestly, I haven't played that much this week.
So I'm guessing, to ask you a question on that.
Yes, mate.
You've got the Universal app, and you've got an iPhone and an iPad. I'm guessing on the iPhone it's very difficult because your thumbs are going to get in the way of all them bullets, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit cramped. I'll give you that. It is a little bit cramped, but I find it's because I can't say this for sure because I'd have to play it now, but I think it slightly zooms it out so you get to see a little bit more of the playfield on the iPhone than you do on the iPad. I think the iPad's slightly more cropped in. But I've not had any problem going from one device to the other and kind of playing it, but I do enjoy it more on the iPad because you obviously get to see a lot more of the detail in the ships and the smoke effect in the background and the kind of the lasers and stuff and the bullets that come out. I much prefer playing it on the iPad, definitely.
Can you try playing through whole albums like you could on Xbox Live?
I would imagine so, but you'd have to go through it one track at a time.
Yeah, but I used to love trying to get as far as I could in an album and using that as my own little personal high score thing. Like,
yeah,
get
totally.
to the end of this.
Yeah. You can totally do that, or you can find a really long hour mix.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
do it for an hour.
I've done that many a time. I even used podcasts for it. I've tried playing to a podcast, and you obviously don't know when it's going to get intense, like when the two hosts are going to
when the jingles
start going badgy and getting excited like that, and then your guns get stronger when they do. So yeah, you should try a podcast through it.
I'll have to do that. I'll definitely have to do that, man.
I'm sure that's not what the game's meant for at all. But
no, not at all. But yeah, cool.
Did you like the music that actually comes with the game?
Yes, I did. It's very. It reminded me of the old German Love Parade.
Oh yeah,
very sort of ang. Yeah, very, very, very kind of techno-y. But,
I'm guessing it's the same as what came with the Xbox One, but with probably more to it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was proper old 90s techno stuff. I loved that.
Yeah, no, it was really good. It sort of satisfied the old raver in me, as it were. I was getting the glow sticks out on the train. Whoop, whoop. Everyone looking at me like I'm mental, but yeah. It was,
or looking like you're working on the railways.
Yeah. Yeah, bring it in, Dave. Yeah, come on, that's it. Whoa.
Got the green jacket, got the flashlights. You're all right, man.
Oi, we're in the station. Superb. Right, so yeah, that's all I've been playing, man. That's all I've been playing. So we've had questions coming in all week to the IOBots Twitter feed, and we got one particular question that I thought would make an excellent thing to have a quick chat about, mate. It's from Ryan Ashley, and he's asked us if we had unlimited money and unlimited resources, what game would the IOBots make? So, yeah.
Interesting.
What do you think about that, man?
Well, the first thing I'd do is I'd employ Capone Adam to make any game he wanted. I'd give him his own studio.
Superb. But have you seen him? Have you seen he's doing this
the Molyneux game
Molyneux thing? Yeah, that looks amazing.
Be good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although both places that are doing it, Brighton and San Francisco, are both miles away from where he lives in
yeah, exactly.
The snowy bit of Canada. Yeah. But hey, it's going to be a tribute to his amazing Twitter account anyway. So
yeah, totally.
So that'd be the first thing I'd do.
Right.
I'm not quite sure about what I'd do for a game, mate. Have you got any ideas off the top of your head?
Mate, yeah. I have the game that I've always wanted to make. I'm really into racing games. Ever since Outrun when I was little.
Yeah.
I've always played driving games like Outrun and Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge and Power Drift, and I've always loved them.
Yeah.
Really into Forza. Really, I mean, not so much Gran Turismo, but very into Forza. And I was in the Super Happy Fun Time show Racing League for the first round of races, and that was amazing. That was really, really good. But what I've always wanted to do, ever since I was little, was have a racing game. I mean, now we've got the technology to do it. What I've always wanted to do is make this racing game where it's a racing game like Formula One, but it's got all the elements of like a heavy rain and all the consequence stuff from like a heavy rain. So what you would do is you would start off as a junior kart racer, and you would be your dad would take you to the local meet, and you'd
would he be pushy? Would he be really pushy like Lewis?
Well, this is the thing: is he'd be the pushy dad, and then you'd be having chats with him about stuff, and those chats would then, whatever decisions you made in those chats would then like spiral off into, right, well, I want to do this or I want to do that, and it would have consequences later on in the game, or maybe later on in your life you remember back to something, and
you remember back when you pushed that, but Dad, I don't even want to do this button.
yeah, exactly, right. So every single part of it would be like you'd have sections where, rather than it just being a cutscene, you get driven to the racetrack and you turn up, not like Toka Race Driver or Pro Race Driver, I think it was in the States, but where it was kind of like you drive a race, you have a cutscene, that cutscene then develops a bit of story for the next race, and blah blah blah. This would actually be a proper sprawling,
like on the bus, you have to kind of build up your allegiances with your team on the bus and that kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. So you'd actually be in the drivers' briefings and you'd be making decisions, and you'd be sitting there with your team boss and building up a relationship with him and kind of saying, well, do you want to do this with your car? Do you want to do this with the car? Do you want to do this strategy with your car? Do you want to do that? And the choices you make in that would then make your car better or worse. You could develop like friendships with your engineers, and your engineers would really put the effort in and develop some amazing new way to like fit your car up. So that your car would be superb in the next race, you could have a section where it was like industrial espionage, and like someone's come in and tried to take photographs of your car, and you've caught them, and what you do.
Do you leak the gear shifts and that kind of
thing? Yeah. Do you like you say, yeah? Do you leak the gear shift, like the gear changes or the front wing splitter or whatever? And then so you would have all these kind of adventure elements.
When you're early in the game, man, there'd be a lovely crux moment where the boss is like, right, well, we want your co-driver, like your team partner, we want him to win this one. We want you to come third. But you could either do what your team wants or get the fans on your side by actually winning.
Yeah, totally.
And that would change, obviously, where your career trajectory goes. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
idea.
So it would be more of a story than a driving. It would be a driving game with a massive story. Very much, like the way I've got it in my head is like kind of what's that boxing game that's got it at the moment?
The one that was the not Fight Night, the one that came out by the same team.
Yeah. Where it's about boxing, but it's a story that runs all the way through it.
Yeah.
And it would be like that, but you would start off as you'd start off as a kid, and it would take you all the way through your career, and you could be at Monte Carlo, chatting up supermodels, or you could be going off and doing press briefings and press junkets, and what interactions you have in there would spiral off, and you'd meet reporters or you'd not meet certain reporters, and they would big you up or not big you up, and this kind of thing, and it would all enter into basically all these consequences would have an effect on your actual racing. So, like you say, with the engineers, it would affect your car. If you were driving in a race and you, like most people do, they come to a corner and right, that's it, I'm going to use you three people as a wall to kind of just bat them away around the corner and smash you all out of the way and get into front. If you do that to them, maybe they'll get pissed off with you, and
they'll be like Raji in the next races and stuff.
Yeah, well, not even that. Just like kind of, it would just take you off in this completely like that's where there would be a split in the story, and you would go off down this path of you have this rivalry with these drivers, and they're really pissed off with you, and there's a kind of whole back and forth thing, and so that would be like there would be actual consequence to the actual things that you do on the track. If you're like. If you get told you've got to really hold back and don't use too much fuel, and then you go and race off and spend all your fuel and you break down on the track and have to pull out of the race, your team boss will go mental at you and sack you, or it's just all these like branching, diverse elements that you could go off in. I just think that'd be amazing.
And also, when people say there's like, the storyline takes a hairpin turn, it could literally take a hairpin turn.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally take a hairpin turn. But yeah, that's what I've always wanted as a kid, like a proper story-based F1 racing game with consequences. That would be just like, and you could spin it off as well. You could spin it off into like football. You could do it on the FIFA engine, and you are a footballer, and you've got, No, you're not actually a footballer.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, you could be a footballer, and you could have like sponsorship deals, and you've got to decide who you want to sign for. But you actually are in the boardroom making the decisions and chatting to people, and it could even have like a Mass Effect style kind of like conversation wheel type thing. But
so tell you what I'd love would be one similar idea, but you have to use the Rock Band instruments to work your way up.
Right, so Rock Band, but with consequences.
Yeah, with like a full Mass Effect style story of your trajectory. I know they tried doing that in the career mode in Rock Band 2 and 3.
Yeah, but
obviously, it's just like you say, like pro race driver. It's just a cutscene that tells you where you're going next.
Yeah. You don't have any influence. Yeah, no influence on it whatsoever. Just like, right, this is where you're going. This is where the story is going. Off your trot.
Yeah, I want to see managers that rip you off, like demo studios that give you a dodgy copy,
and then you make a decision whether you're going to go and smash their offices up, or
or exactly, or if you put out the slightly crackly recording they gave you, or sod it, we have to put more money into this and go and do it again, and then you can record every track yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like using the guitar and vocals and drums. They're actually your songs.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So you bring in your own kind of your own music generator into it as well.
Well, yeah. Well, you've got that in Guitar Hero World Tour. You can make track. Have you never played with the sequencer on that?
No. I've always played the Rock Band game, so yeah.
Oh yeah, you need to try that. It's got like a full on I think it's an 8 or a 16 track sequencer.
Okay.
That you can actually play songs on the drums, the vocals, the guitar.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, so if you could include that in a proper RPG, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So what other games did you come up with, man?
Oh, there's the one that I've really always wanted to make has already been done, and I've already said it's going to be a show topic because it's the game that I love. So I won't go on about that idea too much, but it would have been that you're playing through a variety of genres from, say, the past 20, 30 years in games.
Okay. So, like, this is sort of almost harking back to that Retro City Rampage thing.
Yes, sort of. But where, like, say you started out in the, like, NES days or the Atari 2600 days. Say some guy zaps you, the gamer, back to 1978, and you've got to get your way back to the future.
Yeah. You got to get back to the future, Marty.
Yeah. Yeah, like, obviously we need to wait for consoles to have flux capacitors before it can really work.
Yeah, totally.
But until that point, I think you could have a game where, like, you start off with your 8-bit sprites, like with like 4 pixels per character, but you have to try and earn the pixels off every enemy you beat to build up your pixels to go to the next level of console gaming.
Right.
So then when you're in the NES era, it's like, oh, you've got slightly more defined character to your sprite.
Hold on. Wasn't there a game? It was like Pixel Love or something that did that. It went from like GBA graphics to like 6 to 8-bit graphics.
Is
to
that
16-bit.
Pixel Love Rush?
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
I won't ever play the trial of that. I didn't realise it went anywhere else. So I'm gonna have to play that.
I think it's more of a graphical style rather than a. I don't think it's like what you're trying to say, which is actually like brings mechanics.
Makes part of the story.
Yeah. So it's just the same platform with a different skin over the top every time.
Yeah.
Whereas if I've got this right, you're saying kind of like it's going to go. You start off as one thing and then one type of game, and then it turns into a different mechanic from a different era, and then a different mechanic from a different era, and a different mechanic from a different era. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you've collected enough pixels or polygons from the previous era to make a character in the next era. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty clever actually, because it's got that whole kind of persistent, almost leveling. Where you're picking the, collector mechanic, where you're picking up the pixels to build stuff up. So that's pretty cool, man.
It would probably possibly be interesting if you could, like, in games where you can go back to missions you've previously done.
Yeah.
To be able to go back to, say, Pong on the Atari 2600 as an FPS, like, full polygon modelled, like, realistic guy from COD, and just take them out first person. Brr, brr,
yeah.
Beep,
oh, that'd be mental.
Brr, brr.
What about that? I'll tell you what. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Right? It's a game where you basically you set out. You've got a big map.
Yeah.
And you set out. You've got 2 teams of snipers.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got 4 snipers on one team, 4 snipers on another team on a map. Right, and you're looking at it top down. In the first stage, you set out where you want your snipers to be. So you say, right, I want that guy to be in the top window of that building. I want this guy to be in this bush over here. I want this guy to be, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But then, the other guy does the same. And then you go, right, turn over. Now, go into first person mode and you click it and it zooms down into Soldier 1. And then it turns into a turn-based sniper battle.
Yeah.
Where you get a window of let's say 30 seconds to try and find one of the snipers on the other team, shoot them and take them out. You know, and then it moves on to their next soldier, and then it goes backwards and forwards until basically either your team wins and you hide. So it's like a hide and seek mechanic. So you sort of, you know, like they didn't see you and they've lost their 30 seconds, and then you go back into the relaying out phase, and you just keep going backwards and forwards until one team takes the other team out. What do you reckon on that?
I think it's nice, but I think it would work quite nicely in multiplayer, where, like, say the person picking where the snipers go,
right,
constantly picks where the snipers go, or where, like, say, you might be able to have some kind of revive, like a medic. Say he knows a guy's been shot in the last turn. Yeah. Oh, no, I won't put a sniper in the window this time. I'll put a medic next to the window where he can't be seen to revive the sniper from the last turn.
Ah, so then you're getting a bit of strategy of kind of like, right, well, he's come back to life. They think he's dead. And then you're kind of taking people, you can take people out with the dead sniper, as it were, the ghost sniper.
But then what if the sniper,
clever.
Like, you know, a lot of people play that Sniper Ghost Warrior and they love it.
Yeah.
All you do in that game is snipe. What if the person that was picking where they went chose where the snipers went, but then the next turn, the snipers start playing, and they're playing for real, while the guy choosing where the snipers go is taking his next turn?
Right, you've confused me.
That can't be confusing, surely. So
there's a thing with a thing, and then the thing happens, and then something else happens.
Right, so what I'll try and do is use people that we vaguely know that play different kinds of games to explain.
Okay.
So
go.
Midgemeister and Des are playing an RTS, but it's not StarCraft 2. What they're doing is they're building up their resources. Oh, I can afford a sniper in this window here. Oh no, he's been taken out. I'll put a medic in that building, and then he can revive the sniper. But the sniper and the medic are played by people that love their FPSs.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
So then they're playing an FPS, but who decides where they go, rather than just random respawn points or 3 different respawn points on each map? The person playing the RTS is like the general, like an armchair general.
So he's setting the reset points. He's actually like going, right, they will spawn there, they will spawn there, they will spawn here, yeah?
Yeah, like,
cool.
Like, you know when you see them on Battlefield, Blackadder Goes Forth, where they're pushing around the people on the map.
Yes,
and
like that.
They're outside of the situation, but they're directly related to what's going on the ground. I'd love to see that.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. I'll tell you what that sounds very similar to, but obviously not very similar, is that new Dust, I think it's Dust 514?
Dust 513, yeah.
Yeah, 513, there you go. That sounds amazing, where you've got like kind of the guys who are playing EVE Online, basically, they do things that then tie in.
Yeah. 4, not 3. We're not talking about the prequel here. Just wanted to butt in.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't even play the first 512, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no. So yeah,
anyway.
that sounds mad. Where like, basically the guys who play EVE Online directly affect the guys who are on the ground fighting in this kind of Halo futuristic battle FPS.
Yeah.
And then what they do in the FPS affects the economy of EVE Online. That sounds really mad, and like I'm actually quite looking forward to trying to get involved in that, because I think it's free to play as well on the PS3, because it's going to be PS3 exclusive. So
yeah, it'll be free to play with a pea shooter, but you have to pay to get like a pistol or a submachine gun or whatever.
Even if I'm paying, I mean, like even if you're paying £20, that's going to be like cheaper than buying a full price 40, 50 quid game, though, isn't it? So you wouldn't mind paying that and trying it out, and you know, imagine like you're getting involved with like the corporations and getting on their forums and talking about how we need to get this done and we're going to attack this planet and blah, blah, blah. That'd be amazing.
Will it just?
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, man. Really looking forward to that, you know. But right, so is that all the games you've got, man?
I think so. Like, I reckon we'll come up with some in the week. So for Ryan, I think we can come up with some more answers for you next week, because it's the kind of thing that run, isn't it? And if anyone's got their own ideas,
yeah, totally.
Like, send them in to us at email@theaibots.com, and we'll review your idea. If we like it, then we'll give it the go ahead. We'll green light that.
We'll be the board
because Ryan's given us the money to run a development studio. The least we can do is offer the listeners the chance to have their games made by us.
What a generous fella. I mean, we could be like Dragon's Den. You know, and just sit there. Oh, see?
Yeah.
The old thinking cap's gone on. Could be like Dragon's Den. I'm out, son.
Right, so that's an official Dragon's Den contest for the AI bots started now, I'd say.
Yeah, totally. Go for it. Go for it. And we'll try and rustle up some kind of prize. And the best one at the end of...
Let's say a month.
We'll give it a month from now. Best one at the end of the month. We'll give you a free game or something, yeah?
I think you'll find, guys, that if you're running a competition on a UK-based podcast, you have to have terms and conditions. Entrants must be UK residents. The prize has a maximum monetary value of £40. All entries must be received by 12 noon UK time on the 19th of April 2012, and the judge's decision is final.
Okay, cool. Nice one. Right. Should we go to a break then, mate?
I reckon we should. Yeah, it's about that time, isn't it?
All right then, mate. Let's do it. Break. Oh, right. Yeah, that went well. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Right, I'm going to go and pop off, get a cup of tea.
That's fine by me.
Yeah,
that's fine by me. I'm gonna ring and try and pre-order Star Wars Connect.
Oh, okay, cool.
Good stuff. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, speak to me.
Hello. And thanks for calling Game Customer Services. All of our operator is busy. To order Mass Effect 3, no wait, we haven't got that. I mean last story on Nintendo Wii. Oh, hang on a minute, Dave's mouthing something. Oh, looks like you'll have to get that in Tesco too. Sorry. To order 2 million second-hand copies of FIFA 2008, please press 1. Please. For little old me? Press it. Go on, you like football, don't you? And it really would help us out. It's got all the players and everything. Not as good as the one on N64 with Song 2 by Blur as the title music, but we stopped selling retro stuff years ago. Our mum made us take it all down, Oxfam, even GoldenEye. And my limited edition Samurai Spirits Neo Geo Pocket. Not even the local orphanage would take Superman 64 off our hands though. I've eaten Superman 64 on toast for breakfast every single day since 2003, and I've still not dented the bloody pile. By the way, Maureen in accounts says she'll give you a bit of slap and tickle in the broom cupboard if you buy those copies of FIFA. How's that for a reward card bonus?
We're back. Now, the pair of us got up to a lot of things in the 90s. A lot of it we can't talk about on a podcast. But last week we covered gaming history, sort of 80s style. This week we're going to carry on and talk about our late teen years and where that took us.
Yep.
Now, I started off in this era with the PC. My dad bought a PC the early days of the internet for work. And Did you have a PC in those times?
No, mate, I didn't have a PC in those times at all. Yeah,
None of your 14.4K modems and that.
No. I was living in a flat at 16 with no money at that time, so I had no money for a PC.
See, this was when I was. It was literally just before I went off to uni. My old man got a PC, and then, like I say, it was the early days of the internet. Like, never seen anything like it before. What, you mean you can search for free games and they'll be there? Not that they were ever any good. But the first one I really remember was Duke Nukem 3D. That when I first saw that game running, I saw it in CEX in London, back when that was a real shop. Do you remember it was a proper PC shop?
Yes.
When Charlie Brooker used to do the cartoons in CMVG. Back then, they were running that in there, and I saw it. And then I said, where can I get this game? They were like, oh, you can't buy it. You can download the shareware version. So this was before the actual game was out.
So your eyes lit up and went, oh, it's free. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd gone to London to CEX to buy a game, ended up seeing the game I wanted, and then going home and downloading it for free on the internet.
And it cost you nothing. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. It was like living in the future. That's what we're doing now, isn't it?
Why can't you come on my shopping trips when that happens? No.
Well, nowadays the whole world's like that, man.
Yeah, I go on shopping trips and I end up spending fortunes. How can you go out on a shopping trip and then come back with like something that's amazing and free?
Because you can't download a pair of Farrahs. That's why.
Fair point.
And until you can, we're stuck with normal shops.
Yes.
But yeah, Duke Nukem 3D, that blew my mind. I thought that was photorealistic at the time. I mean, it still looks all right today, but you know when you see something and you think graphics will never get better than this.
I love that. Remembering that, like doing that as a kid and going, how can graphics get any better? Oh, yeah. This is amazing.
Outrun was photoreal for me when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And then you look back on it now and you're just like, oh my God, this is
it's a complete cartoon world.
4 pixels, it's a car.
Yeah, so that was my first foray into sort of proper PC gaming, and I think my first FPS.
Oh, really?
So but then once I'd got back and looked into where the games were going and first-person shooters, I realised that Duke Nukem 3D was just a prelude to what was on the horizon, which was Quake, which wasn't just 2.5D, because Duke Nukem 3D was like sprites.
See, now I remember what I remember from Quake was. I remember someone having it at work. There was a Mac version, wasn't there? I'm not making.
I think there was a bit later down. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there being a Mac version and it going around at work and just being like I think that was the first person shooter I'd ever seen, and that was just that blew me away. Absolutely
especially multiplayer. It was huge for multiplayer at the time.
Yeah. I remember that we used to have like sort of lunchtimes and after work, you'd all get together and kind of like stay after 5:30 and kind of like spend a couple of hours shooting each other on Quake. Yeah,
I remember at the time, id developers being in Texas, they were running on American time, and they were going to release the shareware episode, the very first little episode, a little taster of what the game was going to be,
like a bit of a demo.
Yeah. Except they didn't call it that. It was like betas and sharewares back then because demos were for Spectrums and stuff like that. Okay. But anyway, they were going to release it, but I had to wait up until about 4 a.m. until it hit the time when John Carmack got to work in Texas and pressed that button to release the shareware beta.
No waiting for automated systems to push it out live to the internet. No, you've got to wait for the guy to drive to work.
He was literally waiting for the forums to say, it's live, you can download Quake. And then downloaded it, and it was like, holy crap, polygons. What are they? Like this all looks weird.
Nail gun.
Yeah. Oh, mate. But then it was all done through software rendering back then.
Yeah.
Until the 3DFX came along. Do you remember the old, really old graphics cards?
I remember like friends at work going mad about 3DFX cards. Yeah.
That was my first upgrade on a PC, and it was like having a new console, really.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was the same. Quake and Tomb Raider were the first 2 games I remember running it, and you suddenly went from software rendering, like a bit blocky and weird looking,
blurry and a bit crap.
Yeah, and then you plug in the 3DFX, and then suddenly, crystal clear.
The angels came down. There was a small burst of light.
A hallelujah moment. It was for them. So that's my early point of PC gaming in those days. And then I think I waited quite a while until I got a PS1. Did you get a PS1?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a weird way that I got into my PS1 because I was working as I was saying before, I was working I had a flat at 16 and kind of had no money and was working as a junior in my first ad agency. So I was like sweeping the floors and, making everyone rounds of tea and clean, just basically doing odd jobs and kind of trying to get my face out there and kind of, just make some money. And, and then one day, the day that the PlayStation released, because we were in Oxford Circus, where we were based, and the creative director of the ad agency went out, popped down to HMV, and came back with this massive black and yellow box, and then went off into his into his office, and then he came out about 10 minutes later and was just like into the studio where we were, the creative studio, and just went, "You've all got to come and see this. You've got to come and see this. This is just mind blowing. Come and see this." So we go into his office, and it's like something you see on Mad Men, and he's got it all set up. He's got a big, 32-inch old CRT TV, set up. He's got the PlayStation on the floor hooked up onto the wall, 2 controllers, the old grey controllers, and we're there's a good 30 people all gathered around this office, and he's there with Wipeout, and it's pumping out this amazing banging techno, pumping out proper the Chemical Brothers smashing out. He's got this the graphics were out of this world for the time, and you had and Wipeout was so different to anything you've ever seen before in your life.
It wasn't just the graphics; it was the Designers Republic stuff.
Yeah, totally. So it was
flat
really
surfaces was completely designed.
Yeah, it was really sleek and amazing, and it was just I was stood there with all these other people, and they were all all our jaws had hit the floor, and we were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This is the best thing ever!" And we all had a go, and we were all sort of fighting each other for the controller. And from that moment on, I was like, right, I'm putting all my money aside every week, every month it was. I'm going to put as much as I can aside every month. I was literally going without food for lunches. I completely cut out my lunches so that I could save the money from that to get a PlayStation 1. And
because how much were they at that point?
Oh, they were. I can't even remember.
I guess it was close to 200.
Yeah, it was 200, 300 quid. It was a lot of money at the time. And I just saved and saved, and ended up getting myself a PlayStation. I was so excited. It was wicked. I remember having Die Hard Trilogy on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so where you had it was a part driving game, part light gun game,
and part the bit that no one played, where you played it from third person.
Yeah, it was. It was that was brilliant. Just kind of weird mashup of we're going to do the 3 Die Hard games, and they're going to be 3 separate mini games within one big game. Well, all right, fair enough. but
think the driving section in that I think has gone on to influence a lot of stuff since.
Really?
Yeah, would Driver and GTA have existed without that driving bit? Having free reign around a city. I think that was a real influential game.
Good point. I'd never thought of that before. But yeah, you might be right. But that was, and then that was it. I was hooked. So obviously loved Wipeout. Wipeout 2047 obviously came along, and that was amazing. Probably the best Wipeout that I've played.
Sorry to be really nerdular, but I think you'll find it's Wipeout 2097.
Is it 2097?
Yes.
Oh, all right, fair enough. Be like that then.
Because it was released, I think, in 1997. So it was set.
Right, okay, fair enough. That's my addled brain.
I could be very wrong, but
all right, fair enough. No, fine, that's fine. It'll be like that.
And we did promise we weren't going to do that kind of thing, but with that one, there's going to be people that are going to come down on us like a ton of bricks if we stick with 2047, mate.
Fair enough. I'm an old man. Leave me alone.
Fordy will slap us.
He will. He'll come around giving me, probably chin me. But yeah, so yeah, that was me and the PlayStation, and I just remember stuff like obviously Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid, is probably still up there as one of my top 3 games of all time. I'd never seen something that was so cinematic and told a story so well, and just did things like reading the code off the back of the codec code off the back of the box.
Yeah, to get contact Mei Ling or
I remember being so confused by that and kind of stuff like.
See, because
go on.
I was so looking forward to that game because there was a copy of Edge magazine came with a CD-ROM of E3 presentations of that year.
Oh, okay.
And one of them was about 2-3 years before the game came out. It was like the first trailer for Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
And I'd literally never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is never going to be an actual game. This is going to be pre-cinematics. This is going to be like...
Yeah. This is all just...
cutscenes. The game isn't going to be anything like this. And then I managed to blag myself. I worked, a bit similar to yourself, I worked in a sort of creative place at the time, a TV studio in London.
Right.
And there was a guy there who managed to get a copy of the Japanese Tokyo Game Show demo.
Oh, sweet.
And I played through the demo in Japanese. Sneku! About 50 times, waiting for there to be an English version of the full game.
Fantastic.
But yeah, that was mind-blowing at the time.
Oh yeah, totally mind-blowing. And like mind-blowing again, like Final Fantasy VII, I'd never played an RPG before. I mean, I was, never played an RPG. Everyone was raving about Final Fantasy VII. It looked beautiful on those, the shots in the magazines and stuff. And I thought, right, I'll give this a go. So I've never tried this type of game before. I'll give this a go. And kind of, got really hooked into that. And never finished it because it was bloody long.
It was huge.
It was huge, and I'll be honest with you, I bought it on the PSP a year ago, and I'm still trying to smash my way through it. So one day I will get through that game. That's kind of like my mission.
I keep promising myself exactly the same thing.
Yeah, just chip away. I know it's I know it's awful of me, but yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get through it.
See, that was the game I bought the PS1 for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd seen all the stuff in CVG, and that was the one that hooked me. It just looked so, I know you look back at the FMV now and it doesn't look all that hot, but at the time it was like, wow, that's like Pixar kind of stuff. It looks like Toy Story. With less cowboys. But
with less, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was the game I bought the system for, and my ex-housemate at the time deleted my save once I was 120 hours into the game, which made me really happy. And I've tried going back since. I really have.
Can I ask, does he still have both of his legs working?
It's a she, and we've just got back in touch on Twitter, and we're going to go for a drink. What she doesn't know is that I've saved some arsenic for about the last 15 years.
Oh, you've gone for the long play.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Lull her into a full sense of security.
She doesn't listen to the podcast, though, does she, mate?
I don't think she listens to any podcasts. Don't
that's
you
all right.
worry.
That's all right. Okay. You haven't given the game away.
Because you wouldn't want someone that's going to get killed to get a warning, would you?
No. I would like to point out we're only joking.
Yeah, we are. There are going to be no deaths involved in the deletion of my Final Fantasy VII file. Bitch. I've tried going back to the game about half a dozen times since, and it's playing through that first 4 or 5 hours. I get to a certain point where it's like, I've done this before. I need to just play something new.
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat as yourself, where I'd love to complete it one day, but can I get through that first?
Got to break through that first barrier of those first few hours.
Yeah, and then once I'm past that first few hours, I know it's going to be the same for the next 120 hours. So do I do it or don't I?
You got to go for it, man. Maybe we'll do that as like some kind of
a challenge.
Some kind of challenge. Who can get through Final Fantasy VII first? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So so another game. We can't talk about the PlayStation 1 without talking about Tony Hawk's. Tony Hawk's 1, Tony Hawk's 2, Tony Hawk's 3.
Oh yeah, but you don't want Tony Hawk's 3 on the PS1, but
oh right,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the first two. Oh my gosh! See, there was a demo of Tony Hawk's 1 on the official PlayStation magazine,
right?
And I think you got like a 2-minute run on like the first level, and I think I played that more than any of my boxed games. Like Activision timed that demo perfectly,
yeah,
like just enough that you could get into the control scheme, but also not enough that you wouldn't want to have more of it.
No.
I was hooked from even before they even released it. I was hooked to that game, man.
Yeah, man. It was. I absolutely love that game. I got really into it, and kind of, it was one of those games where I kind of first started trying to do things other than what I wanted you to do. So, I'm going off ramps, I'm doing jumps and tricks, but now I'm trying to do a trick, but I'm going to try and jump through this triangular shaped girder. On the other side of the, and trying to do
set
stuff.
yourself your own challenges.
Like trying to your own emergent gameplay. I remember just doing that and kind of just telling my mates at work, have you done this? Have you gone up and done a hand plant off the rafters yet? And this kind of stuff. Yeah, it was.
Did you ever find it was so emergent that you'd be walking through town and think, "Oh, I could go off that bench onto the front sign of Wimpy, and then onto that roof, and then onto the lamppost, and then do a spin on the top of that"?
I do that all the time. I did that more with Grand Theft Auto 4, where I'd be walking along the road and going, right, if I run across there and over this thing, and then I could jump into that car, and I could. It was hilarious. It's like where real life and games sort of bled together.
Again, we would like to point out that we're not planning to kill people.
No. I've not ever done any carjacking except for that one time.
We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
It's all in the past, man. You served your time.
Yeah. So that
it's all done.
My hands up, I'm sorry.
Tony Hawk's rocked my world. Totally rocked my world.
Yeah, man. Just chasing a high point score. That was always good.
Especially once in the second one, once they brought the manual into it, so you could move from trick to trick.
Yes. So
that changed the game. Do you remember? When you first saw, do you remember they used to have video screens as part of the level, where it had FMV running as on a cinema screen?
I tell you what that reminds me of. It reminds me of Actua Soccer, where every time you scored a goal, it would zoom up to the big video screen in the top of the stadium.
Little bouncy ball with arms.
Well, it'd either a little bouncy ball with arms, or it'd go Cadbury's Boost.
Yeah.
That was, I remember that. That was hilarious. And you'd just be like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I really liked Actua Soccer. I preferred it for FIFA for years.
I tell you what I liked about it is the fact that I'd worked out a way that you could get the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box and then sort of curl the ball into the top corner every time. And I just had a technique so that I just go straight to this certain square on the pitch and then just go bang, goal, bang, goal, bang, goal. Bang. And it's
a bit like the old sensible soccer goals where you knew it would go in from no matter what.
Yeah, from miles away. So, I used to love that, man. I used to love doing that. I used to annoy my mates with that. Something chronic. But, so that was PlayStation 1. So, PlayStation 2 then, man.
Yeah, I came to the PlayStation 2 pretty late, to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in between times I'd had the Dreamcast.
Okay.
Which, don't know if you remember that. It seems to be a bit of geek love for that.
Well, yeah, I to my eternal shame, I skipped the Dreamcast and the Xbox, the first Xbox.
Yeah.
So I have absolutely no knowledge of any of that, but which is looking back on it now is awful. So I'm trying to at the moment get hold of a Dreamcast that's got a piece that I can run off a PC monitor, and try and
all you need is the VGA box.
Yeah. So
if you see a Dreamcast running through a VGA box, it looks almost like a next gen console. It's
really?
Freaking it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do that. I really want to do that, but
we'll learn you.
Yeah, exactly. Will learns me. Getting back to the PlayStation 2 then, man.
Yeah.
What are your kind of memories?
Well, the game I bought it for was Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Oh, okay.
That, I'd played GTA 3 round of mates.
Right.
He'd gone to work one day, and he worked in HMV, and it was a Saturday. Right. And I thought, I'm going to put on the PlayStation 2. Never really played one before. And then suddenly GTA 3 sucked my day away. It was gone. And then suddenly my mate was home from work. It was like, shit, I only meant to play for an hour.
Oh, God, I'm late.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I wasn't late for anything because it was a Saturday. It was all good.
Oh, right. It's all good.
He was... Yeah. He was back at the end of the day, and I'd cane the day away just doing random crap, like piling up cars at a junction, then getting a rocket launcher at the top of a building and just blowing them all up. Yeah. And it was like, I loved the old top-down ones, and it was like, I can do it in 3D. It's in 3D. The cars move properly and everything.
Oh, God, it's like real life.
Yeah. So then Vice City came around, and I was like, right, I'm having that. So me and my housemate at the time, we chipped in for a console, and came back and played Vice City for days and days and days.
Oh, Vice City. Yeah.
What's wrong with that then?
Well, I am unfortunately, as I've said many times before, I'm an old man, and I'm not a big fan of Vice City. I'll be upfront about this. It's a good game. It is a very good game. I'm aware that it is a good game. So please, don't.
It's the same as the others with different wallpaper. Is it wallpaper you don't like?
No. I have an irrational kind of, not hatred, but kind of, I just don't get. It doesn't click with me because I'm a child of the 80s. I won't say how old I am, but I'm a child of the 80s. The 80s to me was my mum and dad's era. And the 80s to me was kind of, the music my mum listened to, and I was rebelling against that. And I just used to kind of, and like playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It's just a massive love letter to the 80s. And all that says to me is kind of like, this is a game for your mum, and I can't get that out of my head.
I see that. It was a love letter, but purely with tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
it was made for the people that hate Duran Duran and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
The references just go over my head. The music, I just can't click with. I just don't get it. I just don't have any kind of nostalgia for it. It's just, I just can't. It just doesn't work. It doesn't click for me. And
you just don't like 99 Red Balloons, is basically what you're saying, isn't it?
Yes,
especially not the German version.
Yeah, come on.
99 Sieg Luftballons. And that's why you don't like the game.
No, mate, I'm not xenophobic, but
oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's a pretty dodgy tune.
No, it's all it is literally, it's completely irrational, and it's just really unfortunate because I can see it's clearly a good game. But
so if I gave you custom soundtracks on that, say you played it on the Xbox One with custom soundtracks,
yeah,
do you think you could enjoy it then?
I'd enjoy it more. I'd probably get a bit more out of it. But yeah,
because playability-wise, I think it encapsulates exactly what I love about GTA. It's the breadth of missions.
But there's just it's just like there's references that there's like Scarface references and there's like film references to stuff going on in the 80s and that kind of stuff that I just don't. It doesn't make me go, oh, all right, yeah, that's that thing. It just makes you it leaves me cold. Like I said, it's me, it's my age, it's that weird. I'm from that, yeah, exactly. Take me outside, shoot me.
I don't think you can use age as an excuse either, because people older than you like it and people younger than you like it. Unless you're right, and you were born on the one day of people. Yeah,
that weird year. That weird year that
What we need to do, we'll put out on Twitter, see if anyone's got the same birthday, and if they have, and see if they hate Vice City as well, and then we'll have we can extrapolate the data and see where that takes us.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Okay, it's not a bad game. I don't hate it. Please don't think I hate it. I don't. I just don't click with it.
So I'm guessing you preferred San Andreas because it was a 90s game.
Yeah. So the problem was San Andreas in the 90s, set in the 90s. Or seemingly set in the 90s, because I was listening to a lot of NWA and Public Enemy and kind of that kind of stuff, and that was my teen years.
Yeah.
And so San Andreas was like the best game ever made for me. So it's weird, but that's what.
No, I completely understand. I connect a lot better with San Andreas, but I think Vice City is the better game.
Okay. So why is it better? Well, why is it better between the two then?
I think it kept things a little simpler, like the eating bit in the bulking yourself up and cycling to thin yourself down in San Andreas. I thought was a bit. I think they just
it got too unwieldy. San Andreas.
Yeah, they threw in the kitchen sink a bit too much. It was a great game, but there's sometimes where developers get a bit too precious with their work and don't want to cut things out. Okay. They're afraid to cut things out, and I think San Andreas is a victim of that. Again, I'm not saying I hate it. I love it as a game. It's a great Grand Theft Auto game, one of the best. But
yeah, mate.
Vice City for me is just encapsulates the GTA experience.
Cool. Right. So, as I said before, I skipped the whole kind of Dreamcast Xbox era. So I'm going to turn this all over to you because I literally didn't play games from after the PlayStation 2. I walked away from it.
Well, the Dreamcast was before the PlayStation 2, man.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
You're cheating here.
Well, all right, okay.
Well, Dreamcast was before, PlayStation 2 was in the middle, Xbox was after.
Okay, so let's just say from the Xbox...
I agree, the PlayStation 2, you could be quite happy with that as your console and not have to look elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so didn't buy anything else after the PlayStation 2. So,
well,
you know...
like I say, I got the PlayStation 2 fairly late because I got... you're going to hate me for this. I got a GameCube on launch day.
Right, okay.
I was so hyped for that console. I think it was just the pictures of Rogue Squadron that did it.
Really?
Do you know what I mean?
Star Wars drew you in.
Yeah.
A Jedi mind tricked you.
I think there was a VHS tape that came with one of the magazines that had like footage of it and of Donkey Kong Racing that never actually happened. But yeah, the footage of Rogue Leader was like, oh my God, that's Star Wars. I can be in Star Wars. So that sold me on the GameCube. And then all the good games came out for the PS2. So, it wasn't quite buying the blood, but anyone that had the GameCube before the PS2, I'm sure will agree with me that you were jealous of a lot of games that are out there. Other than that, the original Xbox, my housemate moved in with me about a month after I got the GameCube, and it was his birthday, and his mum bought him an Xbox. So we had both of the lesser consoles in our house at the same time. But yeah, Halo and Rogue Squadron kept us happy until...
Looking back on it, mate, you had some gems out of those, though, didn't you?
Oh, I reckon so. Yeah, there were. Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I still think the PS2, looking back, although it wasn't as powerful, I still think it's the console with the better games of that time, of that era, quite easily.
Cool. So that brings us pretty much up to date then, really.
It almost does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So now you know a little bit more about us. That's always good. Always nice. Yeah.
And you know more about games, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Either that or we've actually removed your memory by telling you completely wrong facts, but we're sure we haven't.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of this is basically coming out of the minds of old men. So if I've got things wrong, please forgive us.
Yeah. But don't
Game news, man. Do you want to do
game news? There's been some good stuff this week, isn't there?
Yeah, man. So kick on.
I'd say the main thing this week. Which one do we go for first? I'd say Microsoft saying that there's going to be no new Xbox this year at E3.
Yeah, that was very surprising because I was very much. That's very surprising because I was very much looking forward to seeing that this summer.
Well, I've seen some journos this week on Twitter saying that completely goes against what my anonymous source has been telling me for the past 3 months. Yeah.
Oh, so this is the announcement of while we appreciate all the interest in our long-term plans for the future, we can confirm there will be no talk of new Xbox hardware at E3 anytime soon. Is that a massive smokescreen, or is it just like, oh, you're not going to, no, it's not going to be there, but we're not going to talk about it, but we're going to show you it.
Maybe. I don't know if can they get away with lying at E3?
Probably not.
Enough people have done it since, haven't they?
Probably not.
You'll get a free Battlefield 1943 if you get Battlefield 3 on the PS3 and all that.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
I suppose there's been plenty of lies at E3 over the years. But
go on.
It's a confusing one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think everyone had assumed there's going to be we're not calling it the 720, but that's what...
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird one because you've got the Wii U kind of...
it's on the horizon, isn't it?
On the horizon. Everyone knows about that. And you would have thought that one of the big two was going to kind of come out and,
Well, Sony could still announce the PS4, so...
Well, you never know. I doubt it, because they've got a 10-year plan. But I think that,
They
I'm
always
very
had a 10-year
surprised.
plan, though.
Yeah,
The PS2 had a
but-
10-year plan,
Yeah, I know, but it still came out a lot later than everything else. So I think
I guess.
on the PlayStation 3. But yeah, that's just. I was really surprised by that. Really, really surprised. You know,
It makes me
And,
wonder if something's gone horribly wrong with their plans for
No,
a 720.
no,
Like, say
no.
say a graphics card manufacturer suddenly, like, a deal's gone wrong that all these journos knew it was going to be this year, and then suddenly they have to sort of calm everyone down before E3, like, oh shit, the
No,
console's
it's-
not actually going to be ready.
If it's not coming out, it's going to be moved for strategic reasons. That's all it is. It's not going to be anything else other than we want to be clear of this and clear of that, and we want to make sure that our lineup of 360 games is all done and complete. You know, and then bang, we can hit everyone with this new amazing bit of software, amazing bit of hardware, and away we go. I don't think there's anything weird about it. I think it's just been moved strategically, man.
I think possibly the weirdest thing is that the 360's kind of been taken more into the homes of the casual market in the past 6 months. I think they had a good Christmas sales-wise.
With the Kinect and stuff.
Yeah. So maybe they're looking just to maximise on the 360 for the last couple of years, and they have put it off for a year. Who knows?
Well, who knows? But so yeah, talking about surprising announcements.
Yeah.
Giant Bomb.
Yeah.
The site that I signed up to on day one. Yeah, they've been bought out by GameSpot or CBS, who own
Hashtag irony.
Yeah, CBS who own GameSpot. That's just like I saw the guys announce it on the live stream. From is it Dave Snyder? They announced that from his house. That's like, you know, basically, like, we've been kicked out of the offices. We're in this house. We're making this announcement. That's just that you would never see that coming in a million years.
It's pretty
after
odd,
everything that kicked off with Jeff Gerstmann, man.
Although I suppose it's kind of all in the past, and it was such a small detail in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. When you
a
hear
review score that wasn't completely what they wanted.
Yeah, I just seen that kind of that video with John Davidson and Jeff Gerstmann chatting away, and like, you know, seeing it all getting broken down and kind of, you know, in general terms.
I still need to watch that. So what are the salient points?
Essentially, they both sit down and go, look, we've got to come out. If we're going to merge, we said we were going to come out and we're going to be completely open and transparent about the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only fair way to do it, and it's just going to stop all the kind of, you know, speculations, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just basically sat down and broke it down to they'd had a few problems with other review scores and publishers getting a bit narky about it, but, you know, and it created a bit of tension. And then, I mean, this is very, very, you know, like sort of condensing it.
Yeah.
But then, when the Kane and Lynch review came round, he'd given it a bad score, and the text was quite damning. And
also, they'd gone for a site takeover that week as well, hadn't they?
And they'd gone for a site
doesn't
takeover,
help.
and kind of there was a conflict of interest, sort of not conflict of interest, but yeah, there was kind of, you know, the suits were unhappy that
the score wasn't high enough. Basically.
Yeah, exactly, and there was a lot of
The problem is, what they weren't happy with, in real terms, is that the game wasn't good enough.
Well, yeah.
But I guess
and
Jeff can sweep that under the carpet.
Totally. So it ended up coming down to, like, there was a bit of pressure put on, and as he said in the interview with John Davidson, like, basically the suits at GameSpot kind of buckled, and just buckled under the pressure of. They should have stood up to it, but they didn't. Yeah. And that was it for him, and that was, you know, it was quite interesting, you know, like to see.
I guess it's quite moving.
How
in a way,
but to see how such a big site on one decision can just completely flip 180 and buckle under a bit of pressure, and that's it. That's your.
You know, it's like the butterfly flapping its wings thing, isn't it? Like...
Yeah, totally. So that was it was quite fascinating, because I've been obviously following that for. I went over to Giant Bomb like on day one because I was following that whole story, and it was really fascinating, and I enjoyed Gerstmann's kind of stuff. So, like, yeah, it was really nice to kind of actually get a little bit of inside knowledge on how that all went down. So that was like really, that for me, that was the big news of the week. Kind of like, wow, they're going back. And the best bit about it is, it's like a lot of people saying, oh, they're going to merge and they're going to this, that, and the other. And I was always like, they're never merging. They're never merging. These guys have got as far as they can on their own kind of indie. You know,
on being independent. They've got
on being independent. Yeah,
faith in that. Yeah,
yeah, and like if those guys, because they're fucking talented, if they can have a big corporation with money behind them, you know, chucking a bit of money their way and you know, letting them go with their crazy ideas and their like brilliant thoughts, that site can go stratospheric as far as I'm concerned. You know, I could see it being the other way around and GameSpot being folded into Giant Bomb, to be perfectly honest with you, because they're that talented.
I'm sure us and a lot of listeners know which is the better site. Well, have an opinion on which is the better site. And
yeah, but you know, I was just so made up for them, and it's like I can't wait to see what they're going to do in the future, because they're going to have so much more access to stuff. They're going to have so much more money to throw at videos, and like, because they've like that GameSpot have got like such a great video suite over in the States.
Yeah,
you know, like just.
Giant Bomb are going to have an amazing E3, I think is.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Luckily, it's in time for that. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be wicked. So, that's about it for the news for this week.
It is pretty much, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Well, other than we're not going to talk about it because you're still playing it, but Ending Gate.
Yes, Ending Gate.
Nerd rage over Mass Effect 3, but we're going to leave that for another time.
Walk away. Walk away. So, let's talk about emails and Twitters.
Yeah, let's. We've had. We only got round to doing one question today, didn't we? But
yeah, totally.
In future, we will get round to answering all emails and questions. So if you send any emails to email@theaibots.com, and you can tweet us @theaibots. We'll answer anything you ask us. You can even suggest topics, or as Chazzy said earlier, if you've got an idea for Dragon's Den, go for it.
Yeah, get involved and send us your Dragon's Den ideas, and we'll tell you I'm out. So yeah. You'll have to be.
Find the girl as Deborah Meaden. Do you reckon Sassy from Most Popular Girls on the Internet will be Deborah Meaden for us?
I think you'd look good in one of those like the power suits.
One of the power suits, big shoulders and that.
Big shoulder pads, looking like something out of Dynasty.
Yeah, it'll really go with the beard, wouldn't
it? yeah, mate. The beard and a short black bob. Yeah, that'd look wicked, mate.
Spot on. Nice.
Yeah. So get involved. Please come say hello.
Give us a shout. Even if you don't want something read out on the show, just let us know on Twitter. Just say hello, and we'll be glad to see what you're about and try and include things that you'd like to hear in the show.
Cool. Right. Superb. Let's get out of it, man.
Yeah, I think that's us done, isn't it?
Let's do it. Let's go.
All right. I'll speak to you next week.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.